crack the crystal too.
Let's go.
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal
Well-
helped too. Didn't you, boy?
Jaw's kind of sore today. Hurt yesterday, but I keep popping it. When I open my jaw, it kind of like does this, kind of like a little pop. Doesn't bother me or anything, but I do too much if I focus on it or like rubbing it. It's a raw. What happened?
Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia.
Ambrosia.
This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass, and all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
So what do you think?
That we'd be lucky to make it out alive.
Really? It's as bad as that?
Oh, aye. There's trouble up ahead. And too much of it for us to handle.
I take it there's danger on the road.
What about this fearsome-looking fellow? You think he'd be equal to the task?
Oh, no doubt. Assuming he's willing to hear us out. Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding a merchant's missing cart. You seen it by any chance?
How does a merchant misplace his cart?
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling, he ran, leaving his livelihood abandoned in the pass.
He sent the two of us to fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker, but I know the work of thieves when I see it.
My brother's right on all accounts. And by my estimation, the bastards are lying in wait just down the road.
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got the skill in arms to boldly brave an ambush.
You, however, have the look of a man who needn't fear a band of backwater ruffians. What do you say? Will you help us out? Chances are they'll come for you either way. But if you promise to lend us a hand, at least you'll pocket a reward for your troubles.
Well, if I'm going to have to deal with them anyway.
You've clearly got a fine head on those broad shoulders.
We're lucky you came along. Now, hoping to make a heavy purse in Boklad, our merchant friend loaded his cart with as much as it would carry. Reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods. So, while you're seeing to those bandits, you keep your eyes open.
All right. Just don't expect me to drag the cart out of there myself.
No. You can leave the cart to us. You just put an end to those bandits and point us in the right direction. You do that, we'll take care of the rest.
These guys sound so shifty. Jesus.
I'm not sure I trust those two. But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take care of them.
Look lively, you lot. We've got guests.
These must be our bandits.
It's over. To me, boy. Help me, boy.
Thanks.
Toggle.
Whoops.
Over here.
Sloppy.
That's them dealt with. Now, where's that cart?
Are there any chests around here? I think it's pretty much just a straight shot.
Getting all of this out of here will be a nightmare.
Seems we've found ourselves the right man for the job, wouldn't you say?
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard breathing. Our merchant friend will be delighted.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods out of here?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such a fine warrior haul cabbages to market.
You've done your part. And that's all you need to worry about. Here. It's been a pleasure. Now piss off.
There's no need to be so rude, brother. What if we want his help again next time?
Inquest? Did these guys... They actually bandits, but then the other bandits fucked these bandits up?
Look at them all. I thought the bastards would have eaten the lot by now.
But we won't be going hungry, that's for sure. You've had your reward and you're not getting any more. Now piss off. You've had your reward and you're not getting any more. Now piss off.
More. Oh, more.
I see the Dalmex lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
The fallen ruin should hold at least. The path continues on the other side.
The vaults. What are they, the vaults do? The old Vista Hill. There's a lot of ruins, man. The final
So
set.
this is Zemeckis.
The land of the gods. It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice and challenged the gods in a bid to win their power. The final battle took place here, at these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men.
Give it some time,
Father
bro.
encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
And we'll have to keep our wits about us. Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Or is it? Maybe something. We're gonna be coming back down here eventually. Ooh, right. Yeah, give me some fucking weather atmosphere, dude. I mean, he gave up the throne recently. Something weird's going on.
I see the reports are true, Father. You have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have. Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sanbreque.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age,
Father, please.
or for as long as I am able. The empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule it, and I can think of none better suited to the task.
He doesn't even make any noise, man.
There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then, Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Grieger, made flesh. Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true power of Sanbreque.
Father. I find you much changed. Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another? Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only. Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths.
Of course.
Regarding the nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
You would trust the words of this traitress? She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sanbreque, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your Emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, your Radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring.
Now he says
I'm
something.
hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
He's just a little shit.
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough. You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
Who's she, man? Just some person. Or Ultima. Who knows?
The Boklab markets are to the north. We just need to hug the coast.
Yeah, it might be a little more quiet today. My ear and jaw combos. A little annoying. It's alright though.
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be
It's good
easy.
so far. I like it. It's had a long, kind of side quest, kind of more more downbeat moment. Oh, we're getting back into it here. Yeah, it's cool. I kind of just stand by what I said before. It's been enjoyable. I hope they can cinch the story. I imagine the gameplay will stay cool the whole time. It'll just depend on the fight. It's definitely got its quirks here and there, but overall I like what they're dishing out. I think most people just I think it's more than a lot of games recently, more a matter of just kind of taste and whether you kind of accept what they're dishing out. I think because it's part of a big RPG series and the tone's maybe a little different and stuff, that some people might be and the amount of cutscenes and shit might just be kind of weirded by it. But I think if you just like accept that stuff, it's not really like a problem, it's just different. I think it's cool.
It's on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside. His troops are well trained and increasingly battle hardened. But
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, any Final Fantasy is that way. They're all standalone.
We can wait for the siege to end.
I would imagine that you would not have any like colored vision as to like the game. You just kind of see it for what it is. Now, it doesn't mean you might like it or not, but I think some people who have like a... I mean, there's nothing wrong with like saying, you know, oh, it's got issues because it's not as much of an RPG as the old Final Fantasies. Like, it's fine to say that you prefer the direction of the old ones or something. Not that they're all like that. I mean, even 15 wasn't like that, but it doesn't mean that inherently the game's got like it's bad or anything. I think that's, I imagine what the discourse is right now. Well, I doubt people are saying, oh, it's good just for, not for me. I mean, usually people are just like, it's shit, to try to justify everything being right or wrong instead of just people having different tastes. Not to say it's a flawless game or, you know, something like that. Who knows, I might by the end not like it, we'll see, but up to this point it's been good.
They've closed the road to Randalar.
If the siege breaks, they'll need more than this to stop the Imperial legions marching on the capital.
Oh, I'm done for.
If you haven't got a pass, you're not getting through.
Yeah, it's just more of an action game. I think if you go into this, I'm expecting a lot of RPG elements, an assload of exploring.
No use calling Ambrosia now.
Maybe a bit more of like a colorful, somewhat upbeat story like the old ones. Which they're not even all like that. Most of them are pretty fucking serious. But there are more like kind of just chill, running around moments in the old ones. To like kind of help justify the adventure and all that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're just like, hey, I don't mind a lot of cutscenes as long as the story's good. You like action games, like, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Get up here. I have to jump up.
Be safe.
Definitely a lot to discuss with it. Ancient sword. What's it look like? Cool. Titan! Yeah, hunt here eventually, probably.
Good girl.
Yeah, I definitely think the combat's fun, but there is, I think, a discussion there on whether or not they could tune some shit differently. The addition of like RPG elements, I don't really care about to the combat. Could it make it deeper in some ways, like elemental shit or something? Like maybe. I mean, there is elemental weaknesses, but they don't factor in hard. I don't think just shoveling them in necessarily makes a better thing, but could they bridge that gap? Probably. I don't know. I think they just don't really care about gameplay wise the history of the series or anything. I mean, does it need a fucking skill tree or something, or more unique builds? Does it go for that on the gameplay side of things, or should you just be more open to all the options and have the combat based around that? I think the big question more is enemies' aggression, the strength of small enemies, stuff like that probably would be the biggest thing. Combos, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. It was odd when I see people saying something about how many cutscenes are in this. It's a fucking genre that's generally like mostly cutscenes, whereas a lot of cutscenes in a lot of games, right? It's always a weird one. No, this is way better than 15, yeah. 15 has like issues, right? What it's focused on. Its action's not good. Story's a mess despite how much it focuses on it. It has more of an exploration thing, but the world's not really all that interesting. Some of the dungeons are cool. I don't like hate 15 really. But like it's definitely more like style over substance, and substance is a big problem. This it's like it's very focused on story and the action gameplay. But like I like what they're dishing out there. I like those things in this. It'd be one thing if they weren't good, but I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like I could go play like Crossbell. I can go play Disco Elysium or something like that. And it's like or CRPG. It's like it's mostly just talking, right? Like I don't really care. I mean, there's something to be said about pushing video game storytelling, and is this it's just cutscenes is good enough? Should we change how storytelling is and mix it with more player agency and stuff? That's a real discussion. But in terms of just like the standard de facto game, I don't know. There's all sorts of games that I play that just are just all dialogue or something. Right? I can play like a VN, so it's like, yeah, there's something to be said about it being a Final Fantasy game and all that. But it's like, if it's executed well, like I personally just don't really care about the direction. And it doesn't feel like it's like not Final Fantasy, right? Like it still has a lot of the same set dressing. I'm on a fucking chocobo, you know, I got all that kind of bull crap. It feels more like an FF Tactics. And it's like Final Fantasy's always been a series that like at least visually reinvents itself really often. So it's like I just don't care. Like, I would say the game's fun, yeah. I like the combat. Is it like my favorite action combat ever? Probably not, but I think it's good. There's lots of options for sure. These are all different moves you can get and stuff. You can mix and match and master them differently and combine them with like different stance passives, depending on which summon you're using, which is cool. If you're like wanting to do combos infinitely forever, the game, you could, but enemies just disappear when you kill them. So if you're after the Devil May Cry, you use 10 million different moves to do cool stylish combos. It's got style and stuff, but it's a bit more about optimizing DPS and being efficient and cool dodges and stuff like that. So not quite like a Bayonetta, but kind of somewhere between its own deal. Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's action games I like for different reasons, but I mean, my favorite just raw action gameplay for style combos and stuff is probably Devil May Cry 5. I don't like the bosses and I don't like the visuals much in that, but the raw combo gameplay is really good there. But in terms of more like set pieces and a defensive gameplay and stuff, like evasion and shit, Bayonetta is really good. I think it depends. There's different styles. Like I said, Bayonetta is not about long strings and combos. It's about this kind of dance of like avoiding enemies and beating up enemies, where Devil May Cry is more about just hitting a dude and then hitting him in the air for 10 million hours and trying to do that in a cool, stylish way. In 2D, I'd probably say my favorite like stylish action combo game is like probably Odin Sphere, the remake. Not because I think Odin Sphere is like a great game, but just the raw combat's pretty good. It has that kind of like reform, stylish, do cool shit. Yeah, you should play Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. It's different approaches, right? Like some people just want to see cutscenes and mash QTEs and just slam dudes, so you play God of War or some shit. And some people like just Musou's, you know, where it's just fucking like power trips and it's very simple and mindless. I would definitely, I don't know, it depends. Then there's action games like East 8, which are more about speed and momentum. And then like bosses and stuff, where you're just traveling like long distances, destroying shit quickly as you go. And the RPG elements are cool in those. So. I don't know, there's a lot of different ones. It's just different styles of action games. It depends on what you're after. But yeah. Those are some good ones for sure. Maybe not my favorite game in general or anything in the action world, but I think there's reason to say those are all cool. Your Nox sale? I got Nox right here, brother. PS Plus. So I got that month of PS Plus. It's in here somewhere, man. Here's your sale, man. Wish I could give you like a free week or something. It kind of depends on the gamer you are and stuff like that. But yeah, I think Devil May Cry is the best like combo style gameplay. And I think Bayonetta has some of the best like just like back and forth kind of dance evasion thing. But then there's stuff like Sekiro that's really good. That's one of my favorite like sword fighting type of games. The focus on over the top bosses and like parrying and stuff is cool. It just depends. I think those are all solid picks. Action games, there's just a lot of options out there. Boss design in DMC. I just feel like DMC's just combat with bosses is just not all that interesting. Compared to like a Bayonetta or something where you can have a boss be as big as you want a Bayonetta because it's more about like which time iframes and shit. So they can be all crazy. It's more of an evasion retaliation kind of game. Where it's like Devil May Cry's had its best when you're just beating on a sack of potatoes. Well, they'd have to inherently change the gameplay, but I think this one has a good balance. They don't let you just infinitely combo, which would be cool if they did. But it's still got fun, like killing of small guys, although I feel like they should probably have a little more health, or at least let you combo them after death. But then the big guys are fun in this. Yeah. The combat director for Devil May Cry did this. I think he said it's his best work. It's good. I like it. I think maybe it's more of a balance thing if it's got any issues. You got your devil triggers and your stances, and you've got your multitasking where you need to be pressing multiple different buttons with different timings at the same time if you want to play optimal. I think that's one thing, if I imagine if people have issues with the combat, is that people probably just don't even attempt to do any of that stuff, so it seems more mashy, where you just wait for cooldowns.
They're all making for the crystalline dominion.
Because they don't know how to live without the crystal's blessing.
I think you can make an argument that maybe focusing on like the DPS and special timings and extra button presses, you'd say is like arbitrarily more difficult instead of like decision focused or rewarding. But I don't know, I like it. Like instead of using the right thing at the right time or timing, you know, the dog to like a certain moment the enemy is like susceptible to knock him up or something, you kind of just always are pressing all of the buttons with timing. It's a bit more mechanic. It's a bit more like control-wise complex, not always decision-wise.
There are no crystals here. This is where we're supposed to meet Goots, isn't it?
That's right.
I think it's been a good-looking game too.
Here after replenishing his supplies.
It's got a nice blend of like cohesive, kind of low fantasy art style, but also with like higher fantasy shits like sprinkled in. It's not just like low fantasy only. But like the forests still feel like a really idyllic version of like maybe like a real forest or something, and how everything's kind of, the elevations are played with and how dense everything is and where all the little ruins are and stuff. While it's not using like it's a purple forest with, you know, giant mushrooms everywhere, it still has a fantasy feel because of just kind of like maybe how rough or how, you know, perfect looking the areas are supposed to be, where that wouldn't be natural normally. I think they do a good job with that. Just making everything nice to look at, but still being kind of cohesive.
That's that then. No traders pass. No passage.
There's lots of like big set pieces and crazy structures and stuff and all that. But if you're looking to go from the fire area to the ice area to the tropical jungle to the island in 8 hours, it's probably not the right game for you.
What do you think, girl?
Which is, you know, kind of like what old Final Fantasies would be. Which is fun, but it's a different style. This is definitely more Final Fantasy Tactics had like giant set pieces and still having elements of high fantasy. Like this isn't obviously grounded, right? It's a giant crater with waterfalls coming off of it. But then you go over here and it looks a bit more, you know, grounded. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of like good action gameplay systems. I hate light action, stuff like Horizon and shit like that, where it's like very just basic button mashy. I honestly think the old God of Wars are kind of like that. I don't find the action system to be very fun. The old God of Wars are more of like a power trip with really good set pieces. But that's definitely more a Bayonetta type of person. Devil May Cry kind of guy. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I don't remember how much I even liked Rising Revengeance's combat. I always just remember the cutscenes.
I must leave for the Dominion.
And the music.
Bloody crimson caravans, scooping up all the best customers.
I wish to engage the Crimson Caravan services.
Yeah, I wonder how well this game's gonna do. I like the discourse around it, but I'd feel kind of bad if it didn't do well, or didn't do well for Yoshi P and them, because I think it's good. I just think they're gonna fall to the
I hear the brothers found another victim. Can you believe it?
I believe it, alright. What's that? The third this month?
I just think that they've changed enough and kind of went off the, I'll say off the track, but I think a lot of that's gonna affect the reception and how well it does. I also just think how Final Fantasy is received, and then this game's, you know, the demo people liked a lot, but that it is less, you know, colorful and crazy and stuff. And that it's action based and shit, it might turn off just enough people. I'm not sure. I mean, there was a ploy to try to get more people in. I just wonder how it's gonna pan out. Which is, it's interesting because it makes you wonder about the future of the series too. I doubt this is gonna like bomb or anything, but I'm curious. Square Enix's advertising was a little odd too. The last big event show, they showed off FF7 Remake 2 instead of this, like a week before it was coming out. I'm like, that's kind of odd. Now that'll do really well. It's a nostalgia thing, and it's a bit more traditional too with some of the combat mix. And nostalgia sells hard, always does. Especially these days.
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait. Farewell.
Let me carry your goods. I'm cheap.
Peaches and pears. Beets and beans.
Wonders from across the water. Come one, come all. Feast your eyes. Good sir, can I interest you in...
How much? For a measly crust of bread?
You won't find any cheaper. Not nowadays. You're more than welcome to look.
The Empire's unlawful and illegitimate occupation of the crystalline dominion is still in effect. Only those whose business in Twinside has been officially approved by the Republican Army will be permitted to cross the border. All who seek entry are to form a line and ready their documents for inspection.
It looks like we aren't the only ones who are eager to leave.
And they're checking everyone.
Can't you make an
Not for the likes of you.
We won't get through without that pass. Let's go in and find Good, shall we? He must be around here somewhere.
Oh yeah, goods.
Taste my peaches. They're sweet as nectar.
Taste your peaches.
I'll take the large one.
Oh, Good. There you are.
Clive, I'm so sorry. Don't tell Nan, will you?
Slow down, Good. Just tell us what happened.
It's me trader's pass. It's gone. We cannot ride the caravan without it. We won't even be able to get through the flipping checkpoint.
Do you remember when you last saw it?
It was in my pocket a minute ago. Then a bairn bumped into me and... Here. You don't think that they might have nicked it, do you?
It wouldn't surprise me. A busy market like this is prime territory for pickpockets.
So, to get the pass back, we need to find this child. Where would we even start?
I know where! I've got a pal in Bock lad who might be able to help us. No one knows more about what goes on round here than she does.
Where do we find her?
She's the owner of the Crimson Caravans, up that way. Sign's got a red chocobo on it.
No time like the present.
You two go on ahead. I'm gonna check the rest of my stuff, make sure naught else is missing.
All right. We'll meet you there.
Let's keep an eye out for this red chocobo, then.
And the other on our purses.
Next to the checkpoint.
Out of my sight, wretch.
Out of my sight, wretch.
Looking to hire a coach? It's 10 million for a two-birder to the Crystalline Dominion. Take it or leave it.
Oh, we're not here for that.
Then I bid you good day.
Oh, wait! Don't go, El. He's me mate.
Is she that busy?
As I live and breathe. Goots, what are you doing back in Bocklad? I gather Lady Karen didn't send you. So what trouble have you got yourself into this time?
It's me trader's pass. It got stolen. By a little bairn.
Of all the... You're the size of a marble. Honestly. Ugh.
Goots told us that you know the markets well. Might you have an idea which little bairn could have done this?
We don't intend to punish them. We just need our pass back. Then, we can be on our way.
I see. So neither of you has a trader's pass either?
No.
Not that anyone would take you for traders.
Why would we?
But I suppose that's why you came to me, correct? Now, I can't say for sure who took your pass, but I suspect I know why they did it. Let me explain.
Please do.
Ever since the Fist marched on the Dominion, the Republic has been clamping down on any commerce that might aid the Empire more than it does us. Which means traders' passes have gone from being merely a way of easing one's progress to being essential if one wishes to cross the border at all.
And with demand outstripping supply, they've become a precious commodity, leading some to seek to acquire them by less than legitimate means.
So the children are stealing passes to sell on the black market?
Yes, and no. Passes are inscribed with the names of their owners, and yet none of the victims' names have appeared on the register of those passing through the checkpoint.
Which means?
That someone is doctoring the stolen passes. The same someone who is encouraging the children to steal them. And the same someone who has Goots's pass, no doubt. Whoever they are, they're ruining the livelihoods of honest merchants, which is why we've decided to take a stand. Will you stand with us? You want to get your pass back, and we want to ensure that no more are stolen. Catch whoever's behind it all, and 2 birds shall be slain with a single stone.
Is there any other way of getting to the Crystalline Dominion, Goots?
They won't let you in if you're not with the caravan. It's that, I don't know, try swimming across the strait. But the guards will definitely spot you if you try and do that. Like, we don't want to get spotted, right?
So either we find the people who took the pass, or give up all hope of entering the Dominion.
All right. We'll help.
Thank you kindly.
Climb the rock, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know your name. Eloise at your service.
Clive.
A pleasure doing business with you, Clive. The proprietor of the furniture makers by the coach stop is spearheading the search. Wear that, and he will know you for a friend. I suggest that you speak with him first.
The furniture makers. Understood.
Oh yeah. Here's her a little bit.
Jug of snake spit for the road?
The caravan stops next to the checkpoint. Show them your trader's pass.
Are you the furniture maker?
Sore.
Looking for something in particular? Ah, Eloise collared you too, eh? Then I expect you want to know more.
She told me you were leading the hunt for the pickpockets. What have you learned?
For one, that they're targeting the traders carrying the biggest packs. Harder to watch your back, see? And less chance of the mark giving chase if they're spotted. Not that they'd be likely to catch them. Those imps know every inch of this warren like the backs of their hands.
Their eyes must have lit up when they saw Goots.
The fishmonger round by the gate's been trying to track down the children involved.
Sounds like Farshinault or whatever his name is. Farshinault?
Thank you. We will.
I remembered his voice actor's name.
You won't find anything of this quality in Twinside.
You should come with me to the Dominion.
Fish for sale! Fresh sorted and smoked! Can I interest you? Ah, sorry. Message from Eloise, is it?
She's asked me to help her. To help you find the pickpockets.
Is that so? Suppose I better tell you what I know then. For one, this isn't a family operation. All the traders say the children who stole their passes were dirty, dressed in rags. Street urchins, by the sound of it. We get a lot around here.
Orphans from the wars.
A few, perhaps. You saw the refugees gathered by the entranceway? They're all looking for a new start in the Dominion and beyond. Some of them take it as an opportunity to rid themselves of unwanted baggage.
The shame of it.
Whoever's behind this would have to have made themselves known to the children at some point.
And so should we.
You should start with the children around here, then. I doubt they're the ones involved, but they might have heard something.
It's worth a try.
Hey, kiddos.
Right then.
It's me,
Questioning children.
fellow cool guy, Clive.
You won't find anything of this quality in Twinside.
Come taste my peaches. They're sweet as nectar.
Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you something?
Can't stop you.
I was just wondering if anyone has asked you to do anything out of the ordinary recently.
Anything you grown-ups ever ask us to do is shut up and go away. So guess what I'm about to tell you to do?
Sorry. I'll leave you alone.
He's gonna grow up to be a fine young lad. Get destroyed on the front line of some random war.
Do you have a moment?
What do you want?
What I want is to know who's asking children like you to pick pockets.
I don't know. Nobody's asked me. What's picking pockets? Do you get paid for it?
No, you get in trouble for it. So if they come calling, you know what to tell them.
The caravan stops next to the checkpoint. Jug of snake spit for the rub.
Excuse me?
What do you want? I don't have any money.
It's all right. We're not going to hurt you. We just want to talk.
What about?
We've heard that some very bad people are making children like you steal from travelers. We need to know who's behind it so we can stop them.
I don't know much about it, really. But my friend, Honza, he said he got a job. Doing something dangerous.
Sounds promising.
We need to find him and ask.
Do you know where your friend might be?
He's usually by the tents outside town.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Come on, come all!
Hansa. Hansa?
Peaches and pears, beets and peas.
Let me carry your goods. I'm cheap.
She must have meant the refugee camp.
Let's hope he's still nearby.
Daddy, I'm hungry.
Yeah, and I'm broke. Enough of your whining.
Yes.
That big fat donkey was easy pickings. He wouldn't have noticed if we'd robbed his boots off him.
Yeah. Wish we hadn't handed over the pass, though. Could use one of those things to get out of this dump.
Chance would be a fine thing. The moment they found out, they'd string us up by our guts.
Would they now? Perhaps you'd like to introduce us to these charming characters.
Shit, we're in trouble now.
What do we do?
You two get caught if you want. I'm off.
Hunter, where are you going?
So that was Hansa, eh? Jill, you watch these two. I'm going after him.
All right.
It's a good thing we just walked over here and they're telling us what they did. Well, I guess they're kids.
To find him before his employers do.
I can see it.
Daddy, I'm hungry.
That's that then.
Did you see a boy run past? He stole something from a friend of mine.
There was a boy ran back there towards the chocobo pen, but...
Thank you.
But what?
Oh, shit. I'm cornered.
It's all right, Hansa. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to ask you some questions.
Fine. Not like I've got a choice.
I'm looking for the people who are making you steal for them. Who are they?
Call themselves the Carstones. They said they'd give me good gill if I did what they told me. I knew they were bad, but bread doesn't come for free. Didn't come at all half the time, before I started buzzing for them. You know, if I didn't do it, they'd just pick on someone else. Someone they could push around easier.
Hansa,
You found him then?
Jill. Where are the other two?
Eloise is watching over them. She sent Goots and I to look for you.
You're... him!
I haven't got your pass anymore, if that's what you're after. I gave it to the Carstones. Whatever you do to me, I can't get it back. Not that I go against them anyway. If it weren't for their guild, me and my mates would have starved.
Yeah. He's best, man.
Cowards. You will not force another child to do your bidding.
Wait, we're not...
This guy's an idiot.
Don't hurt him.
You're making a mistake. We're on the same side.
Like hell we are. That brooch. Where did you get it?
Master Theo?
Yeah. That's his best, man.
Goots. What are you doing with these people? Unless you're the ones my sister was talking about.
Your sister?
This guy's an idiot. Nice.
Eloise didn't tell us she had a brother.
And why would she? I'm just a back and a blade.
Yeah, he can get away with anything.
Theodore, at your service.
Of his looks.
Sorry about before.
Theodore, what do you know of the cast stones?
Vultures who have made Boklad their hunting ground. They prey on the desperate, stealing from those with gil and bullying those without it into joining their flock. I'd been looking into their activities in hope of sparing the refugees any further hardship. But it seems they've already stooped even lower than I'd feared. Hansa's a good lad. Don't blame him for what they've made him do. If he and his friends hadn't agreed to work for the stones, some other poor souls would have. On pain of death, most likely. Clive, was it? And my sisters asked you to help put an end to the pickpocketing. Then we all want the same thing.
I've been enjoying it so far. I think it's good. I've been talking about it a bit, but yeah. I'm sure people are divided on it just because it's not really that much of an RPG, and depends on how you feel about having lots of cutscenes and it being sometimes more slow-paced or grounded at times. But I like what they're dishing out. I like what they're selling me.
Oh, where is it?
So, what's the plan?
What else? We find the cast stones and we crush them. You get your trader's pass back, and I make Boklad a safe place again.
All right then.
All right then. Hansa, where are they camped? Don't worry. They'll never know you told us.
Couldn't if I wanted to. They always come to town to collect the passes. Meet us outside the gate. I tried following them once, but they spotted me halfway down the trail. Said they'd string me up.
We'll try it this time. Which way were they going?
Back down the road towards Leighton's Cleft.
To Leighton's Cleft, then.
Okay.
Leighton's Cleft is to the south past the camp.
Oh, an actual party member. Does he get a Sprite? He's a guest. Guest Sprite. Yep. No, I've been enjoying it though. I think it's good.
That's that then.
Definitely some things you could pick apart, and I'm sure, like, it's a lot of things people are divided on, but I think what the game's generally focused on, it's done well. Might go out and grab something to drink here in a few. Caffeine. Take a break a little bit. Like yawning.
That's the one who's been sticking his nose in our business.
You should have minded your own.
I doubt these were the ringleaders.
But at least we know we're on the right track.
Yeah, the normal guys are really quick to kill. Which I imagine some people... I think there's maybe... Like, it's fun in like kind of a power trip way. The bigger enemies take a lot longer, but they could maybe last longer, yeah.
More foot soldiers.
Fewer now.
Definitely a mix.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Yeah, they get destroyed. No doubt. And yeah, some of these moves are really strong.
Not a bad haul today, eh?
Aye. Some of our new recruits are natural-born ne'er-do-wells.
Especially the little ones. That Hans has got nimble fingers, all right.
It will be a shame when they chop them off. But till then, let's make the most of it.
Scum.
How did the fuck did they hear them from this far away? They're like whispering. He's hiding behind a tree or something. Close by.
The leaders of the cast stones, I take it.
They don't deserve any mercy, Clive.
I wasn't planning on showing them any.
We're ready when you are, Theodore.
Oh, I'm ready.
That guard from Boklat. Kill him! Kill them all!
This one.
Over here!
And they say crime doesn't pay. Gold chains, rings, purses. And traders' passes. Dozens of them.
Have the names been changed?
Not yet. I recognize some of them. No
Good.
doubt Goots's is somewhere among them.
Good.
Now I just need to sort through it all and return everything to the people it was taken from.
We should go and give Eloise the good news. Can we leave things here in your hands, Theodore?
Of course. Oh, and be sure to tell her of the part I played, won't you?
We'll be glad to.
That sucks for him. That's a lot of shit. Gonna have to do all that busy work. My Christ. Yeah. He kind of reminded me of Squall's dad. What was his name? Had similar hair.
Ah, Clive. How goes the hunt? My brother isn't getting in your way, I trust?
Quite the opposite.
He could be a side main character though.
So it was the cast stones who were behind it all. Theo told me he'd been on their trail. And their demise solves 3 problems at a stroke. That of the pickpockets, the bandits pulling their strings, and the passes they were stealing. I only hope yours is among the items you recovered. Only time and Theo's return will tell. Speaking of whom, welcome home, dear brother.
You are too kind, Eloise. Here, Clive. Goots's pass. Ask him to keep a closer eye on it from now on, would you?
I will. Thank you.
El, I've asked our boys to carry the rest of the goods back. Can I count on your help in sorting through it all?
Of course. I'll make some space in the storeroom. I expect you'll soon be on your way then. But it wouldn't do to leave without introducing yourself properly. Would it now? Sid. Don't look so shocked. We're on the same side.
He doesn't really look shocked at all.
Understand.
As you now know all too well, we at the Crimson Caravans are always happy to help those in need. For a small fee, we will move anything that needs moving. Be that goods to market, or bearers away from it.
I was the first my sister helped escape. If it wasn't for her, I'd have been branded as a boy.
I had no idea.
It just so happens that we are seeking to expand our operation. And who better to join forces with than the leader in the field? Wouldn't you agree, Theo?
I would. It seems our purpose is the same in more ways than one. So what would you say to working together again?
It would be our pleasure.
And our honor.
The honor is ours.
Here, Clive. This is for you.
Join us at the hideaway. Another seal.
What is it?
El has friends in high places, while I have associates in lower ones. That mark is proof that you're a friend to us both.
Ah, cute.
I shall bear it with pride.
Well, all that remains is to wish you a safe onward journey. Goots's pass should secure you a place on the caravan, but if you encounter any difficulties, we would be delighted to provide you with a coach of our own. For a discounted price, of course. Say, 9 million?
We'll try the caravan.
Not much for allies, man. Only got 200,000 in my name.
Right then. Let's get this back to Goots.
Holy. Yeah, just after a couple side quests.
pardon me, but would you happen... That well-notched steel and impressive physique. I have need of a sword for hire, and yours looks to be a weapon well worth the coin. Might you be convinced to offer me the use of those formidable arms?
How exactly do you intend to use them?
Well, being something of a scholar of Zemeckis history, I wish to investigate the ruins near the city. And I require a rugged companion, lest I find myself waylaid by ne'er-do-wells or the beasts said to roam the area. Should you accept, you will not only earn yourself material wealth, but partake of the true treasure that awaits us there. The rich and storied history of Zemeckis. Well, will you ever party to a finer proposition?
My arms are yours.
Wonderful! Then come. We must away.
But where are we going?
Along the old Zemeckis Road, and from there, onward to discovery. Quickly! There is not a moment to lose.
Jesus.
Wait. Good luck with your ne'er-do-wells. I'd better make sure he doesn't get himself killed.
Porter for hire. Best.
I see you've been of some assistance to Eloise. Perhaps you can extend me the same kindness?
Perhaps.
The seals are pretty much just a way to unlock the side quests, is usually the indicator.
You see, I've been having trouble with thieves, and despite the many pains I've taken, I can't stop them from rummaging through my packs. I was griping about my lot to a friend of mine a few days back, and he offered to track the culprits down. Now, Joseph's a sellsword, and a good one at that. But he's been gone days, and I'm beginning to fear the worst.
Any idea where his search for the thieves might have taken him?
The old Zemeckis Road, perhaps? He doubted they would be fool enough to linger here in Boklad.
Is it those two from
Lived a
earlier?
hard life. Made him grey long before his time. I just pray he hasn't been killed over a few sacks of grain.
I can't imagine there are too many grey-haired sellswords around. Hopefully someone will have seen him.
Hurry, man. I must leave for the Dominion.
Hurry, man.
If I knew arrivals.
Now I just need to see about getting the work. I want to know right away.
Bad news.
Good, actually. Something worth celebrating for a change. Only trouble is the server is still new to the job.
Yeah, he's got that Adam Jensen shit going on. He's always like talking low and gruff and serious face.
So I can't leave her while I go and invite those I'd like to celebrate with.
What exactly are you celebrating, if you don't mind me asking?
I've come by a particularly fine bottle of wine. A Gotan 66, no less. Gotan Rouge is the only good thing to have ever come out of the Empire. And most wouldn't part with a 66 if you held a knife to their throats.
So I've heard.
Oh, so you know of it then? Clearly you're a gentleman of taste. A gentleman who might sympathize with my predicament, perhaps? Would you pass the good news to a few friends of mine? I'll give you a little something for your time, of course.
Sounds simple enough.
So you'll do it? Marvelous. Thank you. You won't need to go far. All three of them should be right here in the market. There's Aldrich the porter, Milan the butcher, and Bolek, a guard over at the north gate. Three of the finest fellows in Boklad, if you ask me. Tell them to come to the tavern when they finish for the day. Stop by again when you let them know, and I'll give you your little something.
I'll be right back.
You'll be giving me some of that booze, brother. Holy.
Out of my sight. wretch. I know you.
Come on, come on!
The caravan stops next to the checkpoint.
Are you Milan, the butcher?
That's me. What can I do for you?
The innkeeper's just had a special delivery. He thought you might like to join him for a cup of wine after you pack up for the day.
He knows me only too well. And I've got a ham here that will go handsomely with a nice drop.
Wine and ham to spare. Bogcloud clearly isn't suffering then.
Comes with being the place everyone has to pass through to get to everywhere else. Those who travel the Crystal Road bring all manner of goods with them.
That ham looks
We get meat
like
from
black,
Sanbrek,
brother.
herbs from Rosaria. Why, sometimes we even see curiosities from across the Narrow. My old man knew what he was about when he set up shop here all those years ago. Anyway, thanks for the good news. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll shut up shop early. Wouldn't want to keep our friend waiting.
You won't find anything of this quality in Twinside.
Tight-fisted sword. Let us through!
I'm looking for Bolek. I was told he'd be guarding the gate.
Well, you found him. You're not here to enlist, I take it?
The innkeeper sent me. He's just taken delivery of a rare vintage, a Gotan 66. He thought you might like a cup.
I've never said no to a goat hand. I'm not about to start now. Thanks for letting me know.
You must be a busy man.
The market would be flooded with refugees if we weren't here to stem the flow. Oh, my heart goes out to them, all right, but we've got our orders. No papers, no passage. Plenty try to slip past us nonetheless. And every now and then, one of them's foolish enough to try and force their way through. And when they do, well, things can get nasty. You know what? That wine's sounding better by the moment.
The Empire's your enemy, not us.
You won't find anything of this quality in Twinside.
All this talking about drinks, but I might go grab that,
The caravan stops next to the checkpoint.
I was gonna go grab like a coffee or tea or something. I might take like a 15-20 minute break and go grab something. Let's see. Should have grabbed them while I was out, but yeah, it's Sunday. Like bulky.
I've been asked to find Aldrich.
Something tasty.
The porter. I don't suppose that's you, is it?
That's me right
Getting into matcha tea lately. Problem with it is matcha's a little bit pricier. Not something I'm gonna have often. Sucks, man. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm gonna get into something different. And then it's fucking pricey, of course.
You need something delivered?
The innkeeper sent me.
I've been shopping around.
He said there's a cup of
Might find a
Gotan
cheap one.
66 with your name on it when you're done for the day.
A 66? Look at me.
Look at me.
If he's just got hold of it now, it must have been in the crates he had me carry down from Sanbrek.
From the Empire to Bocklad. You must be a braver man than most. That's a treacherous route to the best of times.
Such is the porter's lot. There's not a patch of storm these feet haven't traipsed across. It's Oriflamme one day, then off to Canva the next. The farther you're willing to go, the fatter the purse. Which is why there's no shortage of competition for some of the longer routes. I'd say I've done enough for today to earn myself a cup of something tasty. Thanks for letting me know.
Well done. I wonder if the innkeeper might spare a cup of that wine.
We'll see, pal.
If our new arrivals had brought any coin with them.
I spoke to your friends. They'll be along soon.
That's fantastic news. Thank you kindly. It's been a while since we all sat down together. And the way I see it, that wine is as much theirs as it is my own.
How so?
Well, I wouldn't be serving anything but slops without Aldrich to go and fetch the good stuff for me. And then there's Milan, who always sends customers my way. And Bolek, an even-handed keeper of the peace, if ever there was one. Those three are the backbone of Bocklad. Lose any one of them, and the market would soon fall apart. And without the market, I wouldn't have a single customer. I'd say that's worth a bottle of 66, wouldn't you?
And more besides.
Everyone needs a shoulder to lean on. Be they world-weary innkeepers or brooding swordsmen. Right, I'd better prepare for my guest's arrival.
I hear you had me carrying a bottle of Gotan 66. If I'd have known, I would have sold the thing and lived like a lord. I'll settle for a cup, though, if you're in a sharing mood.
A Gotan 66. Just as well I had something special of my own set aside. A bottle between the four of us might not be enough to drown our sorrows, but it can't hurt.
Here they are, the three pillars of Boklad. Sit yourselves down, gentlemen. The woes of the world may be monstrous in many, but there's nothing like a few good friends to keep the misery at bay.
Never a truer word spoken.
Well, is he gonna have any? I'm waiting. In anticipation. Guess not, dude.
Kill the poor sod. For a handful of coins of that.
Ah, you were right to stay your bastard captain's hand. More bloodshed is the last thing we need in these dark days.
I owe these remarkable gentlemen more than a few paltry cups of wine. Even if it is the finest wine in all of Valesphere.
Oh, there's nothing like a cup or five of good wine to wash away the
Or
aches of the
5.
road.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, brother. I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna fucking have some, right?
I hear the brothers found another
Paying $1
victim.
million for it.
Can you believe it?
Hurry, man. I must leave for the Dominion.
I don't know why you'd want to go to the Dominion. There's like wars happening over there.
There are no crystals here. We have to keep going.
What do you want? I've no coin on me.
Just information. Has a sellsword passed through here? Grey hair.
Now you mention it, there was a young man with salt in his mane sneaking around out there a while back.
Which way did he go?
How am I supposed to know? Buggered off down the road, I expect. Now why don't you do the same and leave me be?
What a charmer.
Why am I not surprised?
You'll handle the real coin if you know what's good for you.
It's over.
So. Yeah. It's over.
Are you hurt?
Happily not, good sir. Thanks to your timely intervention.
Patience,
More
bro.
importantly, we have arrived. Now, feast your eyes upon the marvel before us. Ruins, a relic of the fallen civilization. A sight so common that man is oft blinded to its wonder. Colossal vessels, dashed from the very heavens. Airships, we call them, with very little thought to what wonders such a word might describe. Oblige me if you would. Does anything strike you as peculiar about this particular specimen? Though we ourselves find fallen ruins to be nigh indestructible, whatever gouged the final sin from the rock cleaved clean through the structure you see before you. A tent.
Maybe it's that giant star in the sky. It's a super weapon.
Mystery, no doubt. but merely one of countless enigmas in which Zemeckis history is steeped. Come, good sir. Our expedition continues, and we still have much to learn.
He's passionate. I'll give him that. Ready, girl? Fly, Ambrosia. Be safe.
We don't want any trouble.
Neither do I. I'm looking for someone. A grey-haired mercenary.
Well, we haven't seen him.
Yes, we have. We saw him climbing up the rocks.
Bomb's an idiot.
Those ones, over there.
Maybe he found his thieves.
Mum won't let me near them. She said there's goblins up there, and that they eat little boys for dinner.
Shush now. You've said quite enough already.
I only told him what you said.
I'd listen to your mother if I were you.
Your mother's an asshole.
Come on. Yeah.
Everybody else around here.
You deserve a rest. Did Joseph's thieves really lug their stolen wares all the way out here?
Up a fucking cliff and everything, man? Like, I doubt it, but I guess so.
I think we found our thieves. They don't look happy to see me. To me, boy!
The rare enemy you could actually combo for a while, because he doesn't have a stagger meter, so he can actually be like knocked around, but he doesn't have so little health he dies on impact.
Let's get this over with.
Stop! Don't kill him, he's just protecting his home.
Joseph? So the boy was right.
I don't know you.
Your porter friend sent me to find you. She was worried you might have got yourself killed.
Have I been gone that long? Wasn't hard finding the thieves. The problem was knowing what to do with them when I did.
I take it things are more complicated than they appear.
Trust Goblin?
I'd all but ruled out bandits before I even left the market. You know why that is? Because our thieves had no interest in gold or gems, or anything they couldn't eat for that matter. Add to that the rumors of goblins in the area, and
his hair, dude.
practically solved itself.
Nice little swooshed
I
hair.
soon found their cozy little homestead and all the missing food. I launched myself at them, full of righteous fury, but their leader was the only one who moved to meet me. The others, they huddled around that food, ready to die protecting it. They stole because it was that or starvation. I've been there myself, back when times were hard.
So you spared them, and earned their trust into the bargain by the look of it.
These goblins aren't native to the area. They don't know how to survive such barren lands, so I've been teaching them. And once they've learned to hunt and forage, they won't be fool enough to risk their necks in Boklad.
I'm impressed. I didn't know goblins could be reasoned with.
Do me a favor. Let the porter know I'm safe. I'll head back to the market once my work here is done. Oh, and don't mention the goblins. I don't want people coming here brandishing pitchforks. Not now this lot have sworn off thieving.
Your secret's safe with me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hopefully he doesn't get slaughtered. Never trust a goblin.
I'd always thought of goblins as mindless savages. But if I'm honest, I like them better than half the men I've served with.
Pissed. We like goblins around
This is
here.
no time to ride.
Simple folk. If you're gonna do a side quest, it's like some kind of world building or revealing something about the world, or I mean, obviously, you just can make it fun in its own right. That's good. There's some of these that are kind of just like they don't really do much world building, but then they don't really do anything interesting. Their own little story. That one was good. Showed a little something about goblins. Ones that like develop the towns a bit are cool.
All right then.
Now we kill these goblins. Odd chain of quests. What if I say overall they're just fine? Some of them are good, some of them build a lot of stuff, like the one with Otto showing the origins and characterizing him and stuff. I wouldn't say it gets like 10 Boras's level of side quests, but there's definitely some in the middle.
Oh, that would not do. That would not do at all. Not when such majesty stretches out before us. Behold, the final sin in all its glory. As Moss tells us, a battle was fought here in ancient times. A battle of such ferocity that it tore a great crater in the very land upon which it was waged. In reaching for their holy sanctum, did man enrage the gods. And great was the vengeance that was rained down upon him. Alas, the full truth of the matter is lost to time. Though I live in hope that I might see it discovered. But we must not dwell upon such things. There is more yet to see. Onward. History awaits.
More.
Let's go. Himself into trouble this time.
The Titan ones, he's like, I guess they make him way more aggressive. It's like, since it's so loud, it's just more funny than anything. Especially when you had to fight on it.
It would seem so. Once more I am in your debt. And once more you impress me with your prowess. These were no ordinary foes, but ones we in the field call echoes. Though Moss the Chronicler concurs with the legends in attributing the fall of Zemeckis to a wrath wrought upon mankind by the gods, he offers little in the way of explanation. Could the ruins we see before us here, in all their elaborate beauty, perhaps suggest an answer? Could the construction of such miraculous edifices have been considered an encroachment upon the province of the divine? Alas, all is mere speculation. But one day, perhaps, I will learn the truth.
Not if you keep running headfirst into trouble.
You are right, of course. And not only have you plucked me repeatedly from the jaws of death, you have proven yourself a willing audience to my ramblings.
Glad to help, but didn't you say you came here to investigate something?
I fear I may have rather overstated the case on that front. In truth, a captive ear was all I really desired. You see, even my fellow scholars have grown somewhat weary of my musings of late. And so I came upon the idea of purchasing a companion. A captive audience, if you will.
That's what this was all about.
I am afraid so. And now, my good man, it is high time we returned whence we came.
Fine. Just don't go running off this time.
This much of a loser is this guy? Wanted to tell somebody about his scholarly pursuits.
And so ends a delightful day. Here, your reward for humoring my selfish whims, plus a little extra for the trouble I have put you to.
Level up. Nice.
Truly, knowledge is a gift all the greater when shared. Thank you once again.
Joseph's fine. He'll be back once he's tied up a few loose ends.
That's a weight off my shoulders.
He certainly knows his business. You found your thieves all right. And I dare say they won't be coming back.
A good man to have around, that Joseph. And if he says there'll be no more thieving, that's good enough for me. Thank you for putting my mind at ease. Here, for your troubles.
That's it. That's it. Oh, my troubles, they say. My troubles. God. Alright, let's see what's going on here, and then I might take that break. I know we're not super deep in. I guess it's already been 2 hours. Oh, nothing going on here really. I can check the notes, but I'm gonna take a small break. Probably gotta grab a drink real quick. Said my ear and my jaw are a little tingly. I'm gonna let them rest for a few extra minutes. Okay. I'll get back into it. Well, thank you for watching.